Okay, so tonight's class, it's called proactive confrontation. Confrontation. And I have to tell you that this is an advanced class. This is not so basic. And if you don't have basic classes of the Kabbalah, there are some parts that may seem to be difficult to understand, difficult to grasp. And it's proactive confrontation. Confrontation in Kabbalah is very, very different from what psychology talks about confrontation. You'll be surprised at the end of the night what is a proactive confrontation. Tonight we're going to learn what is confrontation. Why do we need to confront people? And what's the difference between a reactive confrontation versus a proactive confrontation? Has anybody experienced confrontation? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to share? Why we confront people? Why you confront your friends, your family, your teacher, your co-workers, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend? Why? Yes.
To tell what you think.
To tell them what you think. Yeah.
I have a good example that just happened to me right before I came.
Uh-huh.
I was with my sister and my mom right now, and I wanted to arrive to this class on time. So I said to my sister, "Can you hurry up, please, because I want to come." And she's like, "Farah, you're always like trying to like bring everyone down." And I'm like, "Jasmine, I want to go somewhere on time, so let's hurry up." She's like, "You're always a downer and this and that." So like I was like, and he saw it. So like a confrontation happened.
Yes.
Because like I had my own thing and she wanted to do her own thing. But
right.
Yeah.
Confrontation happens all the time. And actually in Kabbalah, they encourage you to confront. They encourage you to confront. And the reason that we constantly need to confront either ourselves, friends, family, co-workers, there seems to be every day experience that we need to confront something with somebody. In life, we constantly need to confront situation with our parents, friends, and family. Yes?
What do you mean by confront?
By confronting, you want to cross your point with somebody. You want to say your own opinion. Or usually we want to confront people when we get hurt by people, right? Somebody says something and you're hurt and you want to confront them. Why did you say what you said? Juna?
Is confrontation also considered a test?
Yes. Yes. Juna?
So let's say you're in a relationship with somebody.
Right.
And you're in that relationship for a while, whatever.
Yes.
2 years, for example. And you feel like you can't get out of that relationship.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that test or the confrontation would be the situation? You know, you got to see yourself being able to detach from someone else. Do you understand what I mean?
Well, when you confront the other person to
be able to
be
say
able
that
to present your case, that considered to be the confrontation, of course. Of course. And we usually confront people because it's out of fear, it's out of emotion, it's could be the reason of anger, reason of love, reason of hurt. And it's never easy to confront. Juna?
Doesn't that go into action of like in the beginning when you talk about reacting? I mean, when we're confronting someone, we're kind of reacting.
Yes, and tonight we want to learn, we need to confront. Like I said,
We need to confront
Kabbalah,
in a way to-
Kabbalah, yes, Kabbalah wants you to confront. But there is a difference between a reactive confronting versus a proactive confronting.
Isn't that us being needy though, being vulnerable?
We'll learn how the difference is that when we confront people on a reactive way, it could be very destructive. So we see that there is a force behind confrontation. There is a force. It's never easy to confront people for all the good reason. Somebody says something and you're hurt and you want to confront it. Somebody says something that is wrong. They say something that is not true and you're hurt and you get angry, you're disappointed, and you want to confront people. You want to confront your parents, your teacher, your associates, right? So many things happens during our days that these needs of confrontation comes about. And because it's very, very important, and because it's encouraged by the Kabbalists to do confront, and we need to learn how to do this. We can either do it in a reactive way or a proactive way. I'm going to raise 4 questions and 4 answers tonight so we can learn perfectly what is a proactive confrontation. We have to understand that every time you feel that you need to confront somebody, there is a light that wants to manifest itself. The reason behind any confrontation that there is a light that wants to come out of that confrontation. There is always a force, a light that wants to come out. So every time that I want to confront somebody, I immediately have to think, what is the cause of my confrontation? Why do I want to confront? Is it out of my ego? Is it out of my anger? Is it out of my disappointment? Is it out of my hurt? And if my intention is to teach him, to tell him, to straighten him forward, to make him understand, to change him, or to even change myself, that's considered to be a reactive confrontation. Never light would come out of in such a confrontation. When it's out of hurt, when it's out of anger, when it's out of jealousy, when it's out of all the aspect of ego, it's considered to be a reactive confrontation. The purpose of the confrontation in Kabbalah is to bring unity, to come close, to generate light, to see the light behind the need of confronting. You know, we talked about the concept of tikkun, the concept of correction. And we all have tikkuns, we all have correction. And our correction is different. What I need to correct is very different from everybody else. We all have issues that we need to correct. And these issues, these tikkuns, are all different. So the reason for us to confront is different too.
You have more than one tikkun, right?
Yes, we have one huge tikkun. We have one huge tikkun, and then we have a lot of little tikkunims.
I have a question.
Yes,
When you say to generate the light,
yes,
what is this light? What is the purpose that you want to generate it?
right. Good question. Everybody got the question? Our purpose in life is everything that happens to us happens for a good reason, a very good reason. And that reason is to see the light behind whatever that happened to us. Even confrontation has, the reason behind confrontation has to be that I want to see the light behind this. If I want to confront somebody, I have to look to see, my confrontation has to create the light that I need to see. We'll understand a little bit more. And we know we all have tikkun, right? We all have correction. Now, our correction cannot be accomplished if I live on the top of the mountain without people. I cannot go to a little house, a little shack in some remote place and expect that I'm going to correct my tikkun. Our tikkun, our correction is with people. Because people represents us, they are the wind, they are the mirror of our character. So when I have issues with people, those issues are my corrections. Everybody who's in my life, and they touch my vulnerable feelings, my vulnerable consciousnesses, everything that I'm vulnerable to, they are there to ignite, to awaken what I need to correct. So we need people. So that's why confrontation is recommended, because it helps to cleanse, to clean, or to correct my tikkun. According to Kabbalah, the purpose of confrontation is about correcting myself. The fact that I want to confront somebody is not to correct them, to change them, to make them understand, but it's only should be there that I can correct something in me. Actually, the Kabbalists believe that the confrontation awakens that correction within us. Every time that I feel that I need to confront something, like the experience that you had with your sister, it only happened because there is a tikkun, there is a correction between you and sister, and it came about, this being here late, you being here on time, there is a correction between you and your sister, for an example, and if you want to confront your sister, your point of view should be, I want to find my correction in this confrontation. So we need people. We need people to help us to find our correction. Has it ever happened that you want to confront somebody, but you run away from it? It's difficult,
Yes.
right? You're hurt, you're angry, something bothers you, you need to say something, but we keep putting it away. We hope that it will go away, right? Or these people won't show up in my life anymore. And we learn in Kabbalah that every time you need to confront something with somebody, do it immediately. Don't postpone it. Don't wait, because you may not get a chance to do it again. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to correct myself. It's an opportunity to find the light behind this confrontation. So if I'm running away from confronting, I'm running away from the light that I need to ignite, a light that I need to awaken, to fix something within me. So we want to confront, we need to confront. Now let's talk about the scenario between two people that they need to confront. If we don't have that, it's okay. Let's say person number one needs to confront person number two. And these two people get together and start confronting. What's the problem with that? Is there a problem with that? You know, you and your friend, you had issues, you have difficulties, something happened, you both want to talk about it, you want both to confront it, and if both of you get together and you're both of you full of all the reasoning, full of all the arguments that you need to have, and if you both confront each other, attack each other. What's wrong with that?
It's being reactive.
It's been reactive. Why?
Because you're arguing and you're not trying.
And what would be the result? Chaos.
Disaster. Yeah.
Chaos, right?
You want to have a good
Short
outcome.
circuit. Exactly, chaos. How do we know that? You know, if you look at a lamp, a light bulb, in the light bulb, there is a positive pole and a negative pole, right? And these two poles constantly want to confront each other, want to connect with each other. But if you connect the positive pole, and we talked about this in one of the classes, if you connect the positive pole to the negative pole without any resistor in there, without any transformer, what happens? There is a spark, and the whole light, the whole bulb will break. But if you put an element in there, a third element in there, what the Kabbalists call a central column. If you look at the 10 Sefirot, the picture of the 10 Sefirot, there are some Sefirot that on the right-hand side, we call them the positive Sefirots. Chokhmah, Chesed, and Netzach considered to be the positive pole. And then we have Sefirot which are on the left side, Binah, Gevurah, and Hod. We call these male, and these Sefirots are female. But we see that there is a central column, a balance between all of them that creates harmony, puts everything together. If you put a form of a restriction, form of a resistor, form of a transformer between the positive pole and a negative pole, what happens? Pushes the both sides away, and all of a sudden it creates light. The light bulb goes on. And as long as that filament, as long as that resistors pushes back these two poles, what happens? The light stays on. When does the life of a light bulb finishes? When that central column, when that resistor can't handle its position. It loses its power, and what happens? Short circuit, it breaks up. So every time we want to confront, we need to have a central column. It's always the lack of the central column that creates fear, that creates uncertainty, that creates anger, that creates chaos. If I want to cross my point with somebody, and he wants to cross point his, and if we do it without any restriction, without having a central column, the result is chaos. I'm going to jump, I'm going to yell, he's going to jump, he's going to yell, we're not going to get nowhere. Things are going to get even worse. So, the purpose of the confrontation is about revealing light. It's about unification. That should be the purpose of confrontation. So, what is a proactive confrontation? What is a spiritual confrontation? Let me make something clear. Every time things are complicated, it's not the light. If you ask somebody, you know, what's your problem with this guy? And he says, oh, it's too complicated. That shows that it's not about the light, it's all about ego. Light is, in Kabbalah, light's called or pashut. That means simple. Things are simple. When things are complicated, it's not about light. It's about ego. To understand what am I talking about, a proactive confrontation, we have to go back to the time of creation. When the very first confrontation happened in the universe? When did it happen? Adam and Eve? We've got to go even before Adam and Eve. We have to go before the Big Bang. The Big Bang actually was the result of a confrontation. Even the science proves that. The theory of Big Bang, the whole concept of the physical Big Bang, was a result of a proactive confrontation, not a reactive confrontation. Do you guys remember the purpose of the Big Bang? No? You remember we talked about it the first 2 weeks of the class. We learned before this physical world, and it's important to understand that it might be a little bit technical for you guys, but if you understand it, you know how the system works. Before this physical being came about, this illusionary physical world, before the Big Bang, what was there? There was a realm that we call in Kabbalah Ein Sof. That means a word that was, what's the word in English?
No end.
No end. There was
Infinite.
infinity.
Eternal. Yeah.
Eternal. There was nothing. There was only the life force of God. And when we say the life force of God, we're talking about a consciousness. When we talk about God, we're not talking about something physical. We're talking about this amazing intelligence, this amazing consciousness, which the consciousness of light is what? Sharing, giving, all good. That was the consciousness. There was only one thing existed at that time, before any physical being came about, before the Big Bang. There was a force, there was a light, there was a consciousness that the Kabbalists call it the light. Now, the character of the light was to share, to give. That's the only character of the light. Wants to give, wants to share, love. And then this light wanted to manifest itself, wanted to show itself. So he created a vessel, a consciousness, that we call it a vessel in Kabbalah, and the consciousness of that vessel was to what? To receive. The only way that the light could show itself, to manifest itself, he created this vessel, this body, this consciousness of receiving. So there was a force of sharing, giving, like a positive pole, and there was a force of receiving, called a vessel, that was empty and wanted it to receive the light. So before the Big Bang, in the Ein Sof, the light wanted to share, the vessel wanted to receive, and it was a perfect harmony. The vessel received all the light that it wanted to receive. Imagine there was a cup, that there was nothing in it. There was a coffee that wanted to show itself, but it needed a vessel, it needed the cup to show itself. The cup had a desire to receive that coffee. The coffee had a desire to show itself. So the cup became full of the coffee. The vessel became full of the light, and there was a perfect harmony between the vessel and the light. Is everybody clear with that?
Yeah.
Two poles, positive pole and a negative pole. A sharing pole and a receiving pole. The receiver wanted to receive, the giver wanted to give, so there was a perfect harmony. But we learned that something went wrong. At one point, the vessel that had some lack, that lack was fulfilled with the light force. He became just like the light. When this cup becomes full of coffee, now it's not just a cup anymore. It's a cup full of coffee, right? It's coffee now. So that vessel became just like the light. Just like the light. Now, what was the consciousness of that vessel at that time? He had the same consciousness as the light, wanted to share, wanted to give. But there was no other vessel to share with. So the vessel said, as much as I love this light, as much as wonderful this light is, if I can't show myself, if I cannot share myself, I don't want it. Don't give me any more. Don't give me any more. The vessel, even though it was full of light, pay attention to this, it still felt a lack. Why? Because it couldn't share. It couldn't show its characteristic anymore. It wasn't just a vessel that wanted to receive. Now it was a vessel full of light wanted to share. But who could he share it with? Nobody. So we learned at that time that the vessel said, please, if I cannot share it, don't give it to me anymore. And then the Big Bang happened. And the physical world happened. This illusionary physical world was created. The vessel was shattered. The original vessel was shattered. It became all these souls, Adam and Eve in the beginning, and now us. And now there is an illusionary world that we can share with each other and feel good about it. Every time we share, we feel good. Right? Now, I'm going to teach you something. As I said, this class is not so basic. It's a little bit advanced. But I have confidence in you guys. You guys are going to get it. And if you get it, it'll be an amazing revelation for you. There is a study of 10 Sefirot, which is considered to be the highest level of studying Kabbalah. And it talks about the 10 Sefirot. It talks about the construction of the 10 Sefirot. It talks about actually how the light and the vessel works. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and the Ari Agadosh, just two giant Kabbalists, talk about this. And they say there is a term that they use in Hebrew, and it's called kishot. Kishot means enhancement. And they explain that actually the vessel in the Ein Sof, enhance itself to receive more light. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a silly example which we can understand it. Let's say you have a blind date. All right? There is a blind date. You're going to meet somebody. Before you leave the house, you put on your best suit, especially the ladies, they put on their makeup, they fix their hair, men do their hair too and everything, and then they go to the place to meet each other, right? Let's say you get there 5 minutes before the other person shows up. Right before the other person shows up, what do the ladies usually do? They check their hair, right? They probably put a little bit more lipstick on. Do they really need it?
Touch-up.
A touch-up. Do they really need it?
Some do.
No. No. Sometimes, you go to the, you go to the bathroom. This is very important. It's silly, but if you get it, it's very fascinating. You go to the bathroom, and you already made up yourself. You go to this wedding, and you have your best dress on, your best makeup, your hair, and you go to the bathroom, and you look, and you touch, right? Does it really change anything? No. What does it do? I mean, you already have lipstick, but the ladies go one more time.
It gives you confidence.
It gives you confidence. It gives you a feeling. It gives you an enhancement. Does it change anything? No.
You're feeling
Well,
Your feeling changes. Bravo.
it brings light.
Exactly. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel better.
Kind.
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. When the vessel said, I have all the lights, but I'm not happy yet,
They didn't
it
they didn't put,
put up more lipstick on. It asked for a little bit more. A little bit more. Now, When we go to confront somebody, we usually go to confront because there is a lack, right? There is a lack. I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm rejected. I'm hurt. Then you go to confront. What is the cause of your desire to confrontation?
Make yourself
There is a lack. Right? There is a lack. You go there because of the lack. Proactive confrontation, spiritual confrontation is, and every time, you go and confront due to this lack, due to this dissatisfaction, hurt, anger, disappointment, victim, whatever, is what? Is a reactive confrontation. You're not creating light. It's out of a lack. It's out of reactive behavior. So if I have to teach the whole class in one sentence, I'm going to give it to you. There's only one sentence that can complete this class. You must feel fulfilled before you go to confront anything or anybody. You must totally be fulfilled, content with yourself before you go to confront somebody. Yes?
Fulfilled in every way or fulfilled in what way?
Every way. Every way. Yes?
But you said that whenever you confront, you should do it immediately because the opportunity is there.
Yes.
So if you don't feel fulfilled or content with yourself,
haven't-
then you need time to reflect and then return
Yes.
to confrontation.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I love you guys because you guys are so good. You guys are so smart. I love it. Let me give you an example of the confrontation in the Torah. Everybody knows Yaakov, right? Yaakov had a brother, a very negative brother called Esav. Does everybody know the story between Esav and Jacob? Yes? No? Okay. Yaakov and Esav, they're twin brothers. They are from Ishaq and Rebekah. Ishaq, the son of Abraham, marries Rebekah. Rebekah becomes pregnant. She has a twin. The first boy that comes out is Esav. The second boy is Yaakov. Now, in Torah we learn that Yaakov is the nice guy, is the spiritual guy, is the good guy, is the good boy. Esav is the hateful guy, is the negative guy, is the non-spiritual one, is hateful. And I don't want to go through the whole story, you could study it. But at one time, after 22 years, when Esav wants to kill Yaakov. Esav hates Yaakov and wants to kill Yaakov. So Rebecca tells Yaakov to leave the house, to go, leave your house, because your brother is going to kill you. So Yaakov goes and marries Leah and Rachel and two other women and has 12 children. And finally, after 22 years, he wants to come back to his hometown. He wants to go home, but he knows that he needs to confront his brother Esav. Okay? That's the first confrontation between two characters in the Torah. And Yaakov is coming to meet his brother. Yaakov is coming to confront his brother, the brother who hates him, the brother who wants to kill him. Esav wants, in the Torah it says that Esav wanted to bite the neck of Yaakov and kill him right there. Wanted to bite his neck, kill him with his teeth. But when he reaches Yaakov, all of a sudden, he sees Yaakov, he hugs Yaakov, and he kisses him and he makes peace with him. Something happens. Something happens. And the Kabbalist explains that when Yaakov came to confront his brother, He came with no resentment, no doubt, no anger, no hate, nothing to correct. He didn't want to say to his brother, you were right, I'm wrong. I was right, you were wrong. You need to fix yourself. You need to change yourself. You did this. You destroyed my life. You need to change yourself. You're the bad guy. Nothing like that. When Yaakov came to confront his brother Esav, Torah says that Yaakov was tam, was perfect, was complete. Yaakov worked on himself during these 22 years. These 22 years, he came to the state of consciousness of being perfectly happy with himself. He was totally in peace with himself. He didn't need to prove himself to his brother. He didn't need to show his brother that how successful he is. He didn't need to teach his brother anything. There was no agenda behind Yaakov's except becoming one with his brother Esav. Every time we go to confrontation, the things that I don't want in confrontation is, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's very important. I do not want to teach him that he was wrong. I do not want to teach him, you did this, you're the bad guy, you said this, I said that. I do not want to go from the point of view of any form of lack. I have to go to confront when I'm totally content with myself, when I totally worked on myself, when I look at the reason behind my confrontation. And before I go to confront, I want to correct myself before I go and confront. If you're going to confrontation and you still have anger in you, if you're still hurt, if you want to prove something, if you want to teach somebody something, if you want to teach yourself something, it's a no-no. It's not a proactive confrontation. It's a reactive confrontation. If you're confronting and it comes from the point of view of lack, point of view of hurt, anger, disappointment, resentment, is a reactive confrontation. It's not a proactive confrontation. So why should I confront? If I come to the point that I'm totally peace with myself, why did Yaakov need to confront his brother if he was perfectly fine with himself? If something happened between you and your friend, and before you decide to confront, which I said we should, and you work on yourself, and you say, why this thing happened? What do I need to fix myself? What is the reason behind it? What am I supposed to learn from this? Juna.
Is it because you're full of light at that point, and then this is your form of sharing it?
Yes, bravo. Bravo.
Wow.
Bravo. The only reason you want to confront is to gain more light. To have that extra lipstick. To have that feeling that I'm okay. To create more light. To bring unity. You still need to confront. But what is the reason behind your desire to confrontation? To create unity. To oneness. Juna.
What do you mean by unity or oneness?
Okay, you had an issue with your friend. And you're mad at each other. He said something, she said something, whatever. And now you want to go confront. You want to make things clear. Before you go and confront, you fix those issues that is your part. And you come to peace with yourself. And you realize the reason that this happened, it was, I don't know, it was because of my ego, because of my shortcoming, because of my lack of understanding, because of me not having enough compassion, and for all the reasons. And you come to that understanding. And now you see yourself, oh, I've corrected these issues. I don't have that issue anymore. But I still need to go confront. Why do I go to confront now? To bring the unity between me and my friend. Yaakov wanted to go back to his family. Even though his brother wanted to kill him. He hated him so much he wanted to kill him. But when Esau hugged Yaakov, when he hugged him, he only felt love. He only felt the light that was within Yaakov. And there was nothing for him. Instead of biting his neck to kill him, he kissed him. He loved him. Jonah.
So proactive confrontation is when you can confront someone without coming from a place of ego.
Absolutely. Love you even more. Absolutely. It should only make you feel better when you go confront somebody. It's that enhancement. It's that little extra lipstick. It's that little look. It's that little more light that you want to generate between you and that person that you need to confront. You want to share your light. You know, every time you light up a candle with another candle, what happens? The candle becomes even more powerful. The light becomes even more powerful, right? I mean, the candle is giving light, so it should lose its power, loses its light. But the flame becomes even higher. So every time you share the light, it becomes even more powerful. So the only reason I'm confronting is not because of me being hurt, being angry, being disappointed. No, I'm done with that. I realize that. I'm happy with myself. I'm totally content with myself. And the only reason I'm doing it, because I want to create unity. I want to create light. I want to create friendship. I want to create love. So how do we bring ourselves to this point? It's all nice. How could I bring myself to the point that I'm totally happy with myself? I'm tam, like Yaakov. I'm totally content with myself. Juna.
I'm kind of confused. Like, let's say someone does something wrong by you. Like, let's say you're in a relationship or something, and like he says something wrong, and then you're like, and you want to confront him about it, and it's like he says something wrong. And you're like, well, I didn't like what you did. Well, it's not necessarily you're finding something that you need to correct in him.
No, it's never about them. Remember, the law of spirituality is what? The finger goes here. If he said something and I think he is wrong, I am wrong. If I think, if his comment is making me uncomfortable, is making me feel bad, is making me hurt, then I have issues. It's never about them. People are the reflection of us.
Don't you feel like sometimes people are in your life because like...
Sometimes what?
Don't you feel like sometimes people in your life for a reason, not necessarily...
They're always there for a
not
reason.
for you to change them necessarily, but like if they don't notice what they're doing is wrong, like how are they going to be aware of it?
They always do things that is exactly what we need. Even when they hurt us. They're awakening something that I'm vulnerable. If I'm perfect, if you're perfect, if you're absolutely in a perfect consciousness, can anything hurt you? No, unless you're vulnerable. You remember the example of the dentist? You go to a dentist and you have one tooth that has a cavity. He touches all the other teeth. Does it hurt you? No. He touches the one that has cavity, you go, ah! So where's the problem? The finger? The finger of the duck? No, it's your tooth.
So what's an example? Like, let's say someone's bothering you, like...
Why this guy is in my life? What is he doing? What is he awakening in me? Is it my lack of confidence? Is it me not believing in myself? Is it touching me where I don't want to be touched? Is it a part of consciousness that I'm not quite comfortable with and he's awakening it?
How do you go about it? You're like, oh, like this is bothering me, or like...
Why is this bothering me? Where is the lack in me? Why am I vulnerable to what he says? Where is my cavity? Remember, there is ego, there is the soul. The neshama loves it that people come to our life and tell us what is wrong with us. The ego gets bothered. The ego wants to fix the other guy. The neshama is welcoming everything that the people do to us. You're not quite happy with that.
I don't know.
Because we love. No, I understand you. We love to point finger at others. We love to condemn others. We love to not accepting that I need to change. Of course, there are negative people out there, dark people out there. Why are they there? To show me that there's some part of my consciousness is affected by that darkness. So it's my consciousness that sees the darkness. So I need to fix my own consciousness. So how do I bring myself to that realm of contentment with myself? I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, somebody said something, I'm really hurt, the guy is really a terrible person, right? And I want to go confront him. And I want to bring myself to a place, to a realm, that I can do this in a proactive way. How do I do that?
Pause.
Bravo. Pause. For how long?
As long as it takes.
Minimum 3 days. Minimum 3 days. What do we mean was 3 days? 3 days. Why 3? Why the Kabbalists recommend 3 days? You remember the light bulb? Positive, negative, and the central column. So we always need that sense of balance in there. So these 3 days would give me time to look into myself. Why did I get hurt? What did he touch? Where is my cavity? Where is my shortcoming? I'm sorry?
Even when you're confronting someone, you're saying pause, or
You pause, you wait. You wait for 3
You
days.
don't instantly say how you feel about the situation. You're just saying.
No. Again, that's being
But
reactive.
I thought we just said that like you might not have an opportunity to. Go
Right, right. So I want to fix
pausing.
exactly. So I want to fix it. But I don't want to do it reactively. I want to do it proactively. So if I'm hurt, if I'm upset, if there is anger in me, if my ego is telling me to go and confront, I wait 3 days. Not 3 months, not 3 years, because the opportunity may leave. But what am I supposed to do in 3 days? Just to wait and stay with that anger? No. With that resentment? No. With that hate? No. The 3 days are time for me to look into myself.
See what you did.
See what I did. What is wrong with me? Where is my vulnerability? Do you get it? The 3 days should give me enough time to find my cavity, to find my shortcoming. What is it that it bothers me? Where is it? Where is that black cat in that dark room? I want to find it. How did my ego awaken? Which part of my ego awaken? Is it my anger? Is it my judgment? Is it my pride? Did it hurt my pride? Did it hurt my everything that we learned? I have to wait enough time to find something new of myself. I have to wait, I have to pause for 3 days to see something new about me, something that I didn't know about myself. And that situation awakened that in me. When we get hurt, when people say something, at that moment, we're blind. We're totally controlled by our ego. We're totally controlled by our reactive behavior. We can't see. When somebody says something bad about you at that time, somebody called you and said, you know what this guy said about you? This, right? And you get so mad. You get so disappointed. You get hurt so much. So you pause. You wait. Why this happened? Could it be true? Could it be that I'm jealous? Could it be that I have shortcoming? Could it be that I gossip? Is it Is it true? Is there something that I need to fix in myself? And you have to find that new thing within ourselves. So the first step is to pause, to wait for 3 days and look into yourself. Not just to pause and dwell in that darkness. Not to pause and dwell in that anger. Sometimes we pause, but the anger gets more and more, you know. Sometimes we want to confront today, and tomorrow it gets worse. Why? Because during that day, I'm still nourishing my ego. I'm still dwelling on what he said, what he did. Look what they did. My finger doesn't go here, goes everywhere else. So in these 3 days, my finger should go only where? To myself. And what should I do this in 3 days? Except pausing and looking into myself. How could I help myself? How could I find something new in me? Ask for help. Ask for help. Spirituality, a friend, a good friend, a good teacher, meditation, praying, Zohar, Ana Bakoach. Ask for help. Go to a friend that you love and you know he cares for you. Tell him, what is wrong with me? What is my flaws? Can you be honest with me and tell me what is my flaws? Can you tell me that what they said, is it right? Am I like that? Did I get hurt? Why did I get hurt? Can you tell me? Have you ever gone to your friends and asked, truly, can you tell me what is wrong with me? And I'm willing to listen to it? The ego doesn't want that at all. Are you kidding me? The ego doesn't want that. But the neshama is seeking for it.
He does it all the time.
So in those 3 days, I should seek help from a good teacher, from a good friend. We always need a central column. We always need a third person there, a third energy there. I cannot sit on myself for 3 days and come up with finding that black cat. You need somebody to shine lights. You need somebody to help you. You need the light force of God, through friends, through teachers, through parents, through good friends. Someone that we trust. Someone we trust. Someone who can advise us, give us good advice. Tell me. That's the proactive behavior. That's a proactive confrontation. Judah.
I don't know how to say this. I'm a little bit confused. Okay.
I don't blame you guys. You know, before you say that, I want to share something with you.
Sure.
I teach this class. This is the 4th time I've taught this class. One time I did it during 2001, 2002. Again, I did it 2008. I did it in 2012. And today when I was studying it, I thought I had no idea how this works. So, like I said in the beginning, this doesn't go with psychology, the normal psychology which is out there. Doesn't go, it's not an easy thing at all. It's a combination of everything that we talk about. It's just in one capsule of everything that we learn. Go ahead.
My question, and I don't know if I missed it, but you're saying that the 2 twin brothers, the one who was fulfilled and content with himself, the way that he confronted it was giving his brother a hug.
Yes.
That's not using, and that's obviously not the only way to confront. With a hug, you sometimes have to use words.
Yes.
Now,
Oh, he
maybe
did
you
use
don't
words.
know-
He did
yeah.
use words. I didn't tell you the whole complete story,
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah.
okay, so my personal, what's hard for me when I confront is how do I start what I'm saying? How do, you know what I mean?
Yes.
In the right way. And then this ties into what I'm thinking is, you said if you are fulfilled and content with yourself, then you will spread the light. Does that mean that if you get to the point where you're fulfilled and content, you'll have the answer on how to confront?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yaakov did few things. Yaakov, before he confronted Esav, it says that an angel came and wrestled with him all night. They said that angel was his ego. He wrestled with his ego all night. And at the end of the night, in the morning, he overcame that angel. He overcame his own ego. So he totally captured his ego. And then, you know what he did? He sends a lot of gift in front to his brother. When Esav came, he had everything. He had a lot of ships and, I don't know, gold and thing. He sent a lot of gift to his brother. And he said, you know where I got all this? It was all because of you. It was all because of you. You know, my whole blessing is coming from you. I have nothing on mine and everything is yours. I love you and I want to give you everything and I don't need anything from you. And he went with total contentment with himself. He was full of light. There was no animosity in him. There was no agenda in him. He didn't want to teach him anything. There was no personal agenda with him. He had already fixed himself.
So one thing that gives me like kind of pause before I like make a confrontation is, you know, I know that words have energy, and sometimes I think like, is it really worth it to put out that like negative energy associated with that confrontation? Like, when is it worth it? Like, how big of an issue does it need to be before I give energy to these words in this confrontation?
I'm not quite sure your question. You mean when you want to go to confront and then?
Because I feel like the confrontation can potentially create a negative energy, materialize something, God forbid, like negative.
That would only happen if I have personal agenda in there. It only happens when I'm not totally happy with myself, when I'm not totally content with myself. There is anger, there is hurt there is worrisome there is doubt there. Those negative attributes would create negativity. But if I'm go there and I am with 100% shalom intention, peaceful intention, it's not about me. It's about unity. It's about doing the right thing. It's about fixing. It's not about proving, showing, changing it. But you go there and your whole intention is shalom. It's to do the right thing. Not just for myself. For them, for the whole thing, for the cosmos, to do the right thing. Then there is nothing negative. Nothing negative would come out of it. They would immediately fall into that. They would immediately see the light. Because it's not about me. It's not coming from my ego. It's coming from my soul. Thank you very much. I know this topic was a little bit difficult, but I do recommend to watch